Aye. Will Ford.
For Economic Development. Does the Minister not agree that when the minimum wage is raised, that firms have to actually incur this extra cost, hence they have to raise their prices, and then therefore this decreases individuals' purchasing power to a similar level as before the wage was actually increased, thus making raising minimum wage largely useless?
I'll get the Minister for Workplace Safety to answer the question, because I think he might be the Minister responsible.
Yes, that member would be that question would be better directed to the Minister for Workplace Relations and Safety. Luckily, he's in the House. So the evidence around the minimum wage is mixed. Yes, it certainly does in some instances mean that businesses increase their prices to be able to cover the cost of the minimum wage, but overwhelmingly that money goes into the pockets of people who are on the lowest incomes, who spend a large proportion of their income, and they overwhelmingly spend that money in their own communities, in their local economies. And that is actually good for business. And there's a lot of evidence now that increasing the minimum wage actually creates jobs, because people are more likely to spend that money at their local shops, in their local community, thus allowing businesses, increasing turnover for businesses, allowing businesses to add jobs. So it is a balancing act, and governments do this. We take into consideration what the impact might be on job growth overall, what the impact might be on the consumer price index overall, but also look at what we need to do to make sure that people on the lowest incomes are getting a fair deal, that they are able to enjoy the benefits of a growing economy as much as anyone else. And the member might be aware that the current government has accelerated the rate of the increase to the minimum wage. In 2019, it's anticipated that there will still be job growth of around 58,000 new jobs net, despite the increase to the minimum wage, at a time when actually the greatest concern that employers have is finding people to fill the jobs that we have right now. So it's not just about job growth, and it's not just about costs, it's actually also about the quality of jobs and people actually being able to make ends meet through work.
Order. When I stand, you sit. Pretty standard rules. That concludes the time for oral questions. Rebecca, I think what we'll do before I ask for the karakia is ask members, it's pretty unusual, to thank the ministers who have made themselves available for what I would say earlier it was questioning and later it was interrogation. Thank you very much. Now, Rebecca Raihania will now close for the karakia. Me too.
Kia ino i tātou.